What is up, weather enthusiasts? I'm your host, Pat's Path Predictor. Let's get right into the weather. Alright, so this is the situation we have right here, ladies and gentlemen. We have an enhanced risk issued for parts of Nebraska, Iowa, Kansas, and Missouri right here for day 1. Day 2, we have a slight risk from St. Louis to Austin. And day 3, we have a slight risk in the Houston area all the way to Alexandria, Louisiana. So we're going to go ahead and cover all of this right here, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at this. Tornado threat, 5% for both parts of Iowa, Nebraska, Missouri, and Kansas, and parts of Oklahoma and Texas right there. It's split in 2. Wind risk is 30%. Hatched, which means there's a 30% risk of 75-mile-per-hour winds happening within 25 miles of a point in the same area the enhanced risk is issued. And the hail risk, there's a 30% hatched risk here, which means there's a 30% risk of 2-inch hail or more happening within 25 miles of a point right there. And that's what's warranting this enhanced risk right here. We're going to go ahead and read the summary of this real quickly. Right here, summary. Multiple rounds of scattered severe thunderstorms are expected from late afternoon into tonight across the mid-Missouri Valley. Very large hail is likely, and significant severe wind gusts along with a few tornadoes will be possible. A conditional threat for isolated significant severe storms also exists further south into west central Oklahoma and western North Texas this evening, Now, we're going to go ahead and read a little bit of this because this is what what we're explaining right here. 3 rounds of severe potential appear increasingly evident across the mid-Missouri Valley vicinity, beginning in the late afternoon and continuing tonight. Now, we're going to go ahead and get to the juicy stuff that you guys have all been waiting for. We're going to be going over the computer models. This is the latest from the HRRR. And as you can see, we have storms starting to fire off in a few hours or so, roughly around 6 or 7 o'clock at night right here. Here we go. Boom, 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 boom. That's the first round. That's the second, and that's the third right there. So let me emphasize this real quickly. Between 22 and 1Z, that's the first round of storms firing up right here. The second round of storms starts firing up here around 1 o'clock in the morning, and the third round of storms starts firing up early in the morning tomorrow right here. So that's basically the basic situation we have right here. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the Cape at 20Z for this, just to show you what's going on with that. Here's the Cape. Cape looks really impressive in parts of Nebraska, cracking 2,800 in a lot of these areas. Into Kansas right here, cracking 3,000. Supercell composite, as you can see right here, pretty decent right there at around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That's about an hour from the time of recording, around 10, but it does start to increase as time continues to go on. This is what we have by that time. It's a more broad area of 5 to 6 supercell composite, and by later tonight, we have a whole area right here of double digits supercell composite right here. So definitely a very interesting situation going on with this right here. We're going to go ahead and show you some of the soundings we have pulled up. This sounding was pulled up in Nebraska right here. As you can see, potential hazard type is weak tornado. The lapse rate's very impressive with this. 9.4 degrees Celsius per kilometer. That is almost absolutely unstable right there. Cape is pretty impressive. It's around 2,500. The cap is around 95 or so. So that Cape can definitely break the cap as well as the wind shear and everything like that. Shear, speaking of which, is very directional. We're looking at 49 knots at 1 kilometer, 38 at 3, and 45 at 6. That may enhance some tornado development right there. However, considering, with all things considered, with the hail threat being basically the greatest right there, definitely going to enhance your supercell development right there. We have the next sounding right here. This is pulled out of northwestern Missouri right here. 9.1 lapse rate right here. The SRH along all of this has been very extreme, ladies and gentlemen. The Cape has been incredibly extreme. The chances for tornadoes, according to these soundings, have been very extreme. The shear has been pretty impressive, especially at 1 kilometer right there, 52 knots. So definitely something to keep an eye on with that right there. And the next sounding, this was taken in Kansas. It's a little bit of a thinner Cape right there in parts of eastern Kansas, western Missouri right here. Not as impressive shear. Weak tornado is the main threat. The winds are pretty directional right there, so definitely a very interesting situation going on with this. However, the primary threat will remain hail and tornadoes. I want to go ahead and take a look at the one before we go. The simulated reflectivity down in Texas. in Oklahoma. It looks like we're going to be seeing some isolated supercells firing off in Oklahoma around 7 o'clock at night, moving into the overnight hours. But other than that, it does not look like much severe potential is going on there, although we could see a few very intense supercells potentially drop some tornadoes down in Oklahoma. I know we have 2 more days of severe weather after this. However, I'm mainly focusing on this first one because this has an enhanced risk issued, and it's the biggest threat for severe weather right now. We'll update you on the other 2 days in another video. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and wrap up this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you want to help us out with the severe weather reports, feel free to join the Discord server, Storms Unite Public. Links in the description down below. But with that being said, have a wonderful day, guys. Stay safe.